Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to another pre-market pulse scan. Today is Thursday, January the 19th, 2017. The time is 5 minutes after 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking at the overnight markets, it is absolute carnage, pandemonium. Sell everything. Get out of the market right now. Yeah, really. Psych. There's absolutely nothing happening, with the exception of gold scaring people to death because it's down $10.30 in pre-market. It got down to 1197.10, so it broke the 1200 floor there. But then it came right back up. Now it's setting at 1201.60. Hit a high last night of 1206.40. So it's scaring people to death, but it's really hanging on there though. It's not a close below 1200. We need a close below 1200 before we signal some real selling. Then that would take it down to the next support at 1182.20. We don't see that happening right now. It's just very quiet overall. We're still trading within the acceptable range of 1200 to 1210. So there's a $10 range that we're just oscillating within at the moment. Looking at the overnight for silver, silver hit a high of 1712 and a half and a low of 1674 half, down 42 cents. Last trade 1685. Looking at the Dow right now is down 12 points at 19,723. It hit a low of 16,698 and a high of 17,748 last night. The emini nasdaq 100, the one we've been watching very closely, is down 2 points. Last trade 5,053 even. The high was 5,059 even and the low 5,043 even. E-mini S&P down a point at 2265 half. Overnight high was 2268 and a quarter. The low was 2261 and a half. The Russell down about 80 ticks at 1356.70. The overnight high was 1358.90. The low was 1353.60. Looking at the Nikkei is up 85 at 19,145. The high was 19,190, the low 19,015. Crude oil, last trade 52.37 half. It is up 47 half. And we had a high of 52.60 and a low of 52.05. US dollar index, it is strong. Last trade 101.47, up 55 ticks. The high was 101.52, the low par 95 half. And looking at the euro, it's down 67 pips at 106 quarter, high 107 even, low 106.24. So it's sitting right there at the lows of the session. The pound up 9 pips at 123.10, the high 123.53, the low 122.66. And the Aussie is up 18 pips at 75.45. The high 75.65, the low 74.84. And that's a look at the overnight markets. Now let's jump into the meat and the bones, looking at the pulse wave price triggers for the morning. All right, what do we got hither? Let's look at the rally alerts first. All right. As far as rally alerts go, whenever I do these morning reports, I'm always reading from the In Play tab, just so you know. I'm reading from the In Play tab. And then I have sort of a souped up In Play tab of my own that I use. But for the most part, I'm taking this right from the In Play tab. Some of the instruments I may say you may not see on the In Play tab. It will be under your general daily tab. All right, right now, looking at the rally alerts we have for the day of note. DGLD has a rally alert, but again, entry price far removed from the market. It should also be noted that the DGLD is in the algorithmic Kumo cloud. I repeat, it is in the algorithmic Kumo cloud. Therefore, it is trendless at the moment. And when a market is trendless, therefore the algorithms are a little bit more suggestive in what's going on. It becomes a pure algorithmic play, and the price patterns pretty much are irrelevant. It should also be noted that on the daily chart, on an actual daily chart, it is also in the Kumo cloud. So this is a situation where the algorithms and the chart is actually coming into alignment together in agreement. There are times when I will give you readings from the pulse waves and it will say something's in a bull market or a bear market, and then you look on your chart and it's the opposite because the algorithm outputs supersede and override whatever you see with the naked eye on a chart. But in this case, they are in an agreement. So we have a rally alert in the DGLD, and it should be noted too that last night, as I read to you a few minutes ago, currently gold futures are down $10. All right, so that is something to take note of. But we do not have a bona fide entry point into the DGLD just from a pure pulse wave perspective. All right, so it's saying it's been calling for upward movement in the market, and we have been seeing that, but we are not we're not satisfied with entry point per system output. So we're still waiting to see what happens with that. We're waiting to exhale. All right. Looking at DSLV also has a rally alert, which is far removed from the market. So no matter what you see, you're to stand aside. As a habit, you should still have your tickets working regardless of the entry price from the market. Always. It's a good habit to do that because sometimes you are surprised and you will get filled and you will be jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks, running through brick walls, so elated and happy that you got filled and you're in the market and you caught the entire move because you had the forethought to put your tickets in ahead of time. Do not second guess. Always put your tickets in. I don't care how far removed it is from the market. I don't care if it says buy gold at $900 an ounce and gold is trading at $1,200 an ounce. Put your tickets in because you never ever know. The market could flash crash, pull back, trigger you, and then rally up 500 points, $500. Wouldn't you like to catch that? Well, you won't if you don't have your tickets working. Okay? So always remember that. Have your tickets working regardless of how far the entry price is removed from the market. All right, going down the list here. Let's see here. We had talked about bonds about a week ago or so, and right now the inverse seems to be in play. Ticker symbol TYO. All right, TYO is in play, and it has been in a bearish retracement off of the highs, and that's what you've been seeing. So it's possible that the market is ready to find the bottom and bounce from here, and that's basically what we're watching for today. Your momentum on the TYO is locked in still on the downside, hence we are in a corrective mode, but it could be bouncing. It could be ready to turn from here. All right, looking at the financial sector, FAS has a rally alert. And I'm going to say this one is a pretty strong one because all things being equal, if the stock market is going to continue to rally from this point, then it must do so by taking the financial sector with it. So looking at FAS, that one is going to have to be watched. All right, you got to watch it. Yes, it's still in a bullish configuration, long-term speaking. There is no corrective trigger in play, but we do have a swing trade alert on the negative side, which means something could be brewing here, and we have to take note of it. All right. We also have a rally alert on this one, so we'll see which alert is going to play out Watch your intraday support closely. Look at the support on the sheet, i.e. the stop loss. Look where the stop loss is. Notice that, take note of that, because if the swing trade wins out, then the bottom should fall out and that stop loss should trigger. If that stop loss triggers, that's a short. That's telling you to short this thing. So watch this one very closely. Another one of note is your JDST. Now remember, JDST is on the back of what gold is doing. Now, as we're talking, gold is down another $3. All right, it just broke that 1200 mark. Again, intraday dippage below 1200 is irrelevant. What is going to be significant is a close below 1200. I repeat, gold cannot close below 1200 because then the sharks are gonna see the blood in the water, and I'm telling you, those algos are gonna kick in, and the central banks are gonna beat it to the dust. If that happens, then your JDST is going to look really delicious. Now, I know some people have been scalping it and jumping in, which is fine. But just remember, by watching this here, the trigger price is far removed from the market. So from a systematic play, it's not ready yet. All right. It's still developing. So we're watching these rally alerts, which have been playing out perfectly this week. Looking at where the trend is, you cannot ignore that the downtrend is still locked in on the JDST. It's still in a bear market. It's still locked in, and you cannot ignore that. You have to watch that, okay? If you want to get in there and be gung ho, then by all means do it. If you can capture a few points doing it, take the risk. You're willing to do it, go ahead and do it. But for me, I stick to the system. No matter how thirsty I am to get into the market, you let the market come to you. That's discipline. That's what we do. The next thing I'm looking at is of note on there. Just point out a few things. Look at your FedEx. For those who are in FedEx, who are employees of FedEx, who have their money, their retirement, whatever, in FedEx, FedEx does have a rally alert. This is a bona fide one here. This one will probably most likely trigger today. So you got to watch the FedEx. Also watch the support. Look at that. Look at that intraday support level. You don't want to see that taken out. If it is taken out, remember you're in the Kumo cloud, so you can be in the rent cycle for an extended period of time, but you are in the Kumo cloud, so you do need to take note of that. Another thing to look at here, which is interesting, is the yen, the Japanese yen. All right, look at this. Look at how your yen has a rally alert, but look how the entry price is far removed from the market, right? All right, what you need to do on this one is take a look at the support. Look what the support is and take note of that, because as long as we have that rally alert, but we're in a retracement off the highs, we still don't know where the bottom is going to be found just yet. So just keep your eyes open for that on the Japanese yen. Another thing of note is the rally alert in the Nikkei. I gave you the Nikkei's price so far on that. And a note here, look at the overnight. Overnight, we got down to 1915. So yeah, that one's already moving nicely. It has not triggered trendline resistance yet because we hit 19190. So just watch that. It still has a way to go yet, but the market is doing what it's doing on that one. Let's see here. Looking at the Russell, looking at ticker UWM. Rally alert on that one. We're in a retracement off the highs still, but more than likely this one probably will not trigger today. It is not pulse waving, so that's probably why. A lot of these, if they're not pulse waving, there's a strong possibility they're not going to trigger. Looking at the short euro though, the EUO, EUO most likely will trigger today, especially if the euro gathers more steam. It's down 67 pips, so the more it gathers steam to the downside, the higher the possibility of this rally alert playing out today in the EUO. Let's see, looking at another one here. GLL, gotta watch that one. We're still a little far removed from the market, but you gotta watch it. That's our rally alert. So this is ZSL. So this is another ultra short inverse ETF in the gold and silver space that we need to watch. But the thing of note is that a lot of these entry prices are far removed from the market, with the exception of the last one on this list, which is TBT, the bonds. This is a big deal because this entry price is not so far removed from the market, and chances are it's going to trigger. Looking at bonds right now, bonds are off. Yeah, it's down another point. Yeah, bonds are down heavy right now. Let me pull up a quick chart on this one here. Let me just double check. I'm looking at the futures, ticker symbol ZB, Zebra, Bobby. That's your long bond, your 30-year. Yeah, it's crashing. It's crashing. On the daily chart, it's crashing. It just dropped below trend line support. Yeah, it's crashing. I'm sorry, it's crashing. So yeah, you're probably gonna have a gap up on the open on the TBT. Let me just pull it up and see what it's doing in pre-market, because your long bonds are crashing. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's running. All right, it's already in the overnight. It hit 39.99 in the overnight. So yeah, this is gonna gap up a few pennies, but it's still a good play. I would get in it. Bonds are crashing right now. This looks very sexy. I might even consider this one myself. TBT, inverse ETF. So if TBT is running, let me check TYO, see what TYO is doing. Because sometimes you can get better play out of it. Let's see. TYO hit 1560 in the pre-market. So it's also going to gap up a few pennies. So either one looks good. So bonds look really good today. Bonds are attractive today. Let's see. But now here's something to note though. TBT and TYO are not pulse waving, but they're going to trigger today. But TMV, Tammy, Melvin, Victor, this one is interesting. Hold on, let me look at this one. This one, believe it or not, may actually be the better play. Let's see here. Even though it's in the Kumo cloud. But let me just see. Let's see. Because if it's in the cloud, it could be in the beginning of its move, while the other ones, yeah, see, all right, hold on. All right, this is 2288 is the high. Okay, yeah, this one's good. This one's real good. This one's real good. So TMV, TYO, and TBT are definitely in play for this morning. And believe it or not, TMV actually looks a little bit better. It's pulse waving, even though it's within the cloud. It's looking like it's just at the point of getting out of that cloud. So this one has the potential to get up to about $24 to $26 a share. All right. And the immediate overhead resistance is at 23.14. I think we're going to gap up above that. So this is great. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Let's get ready to get in these markets. So remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'll see you over at pulsewavetrading.com.